Every time you walk past a glowing glass box in a hospital waiting room or a hotel lobby, your brain instinctively does the math. You see a $2 bottle of water that you know costs exactly 20 cents at a wholesale club. You see a machine running 24 hours a day, never asking for a salary, never complaining to human resources, and never taking a vacation. It looks like the ultimate financial loophole. The modern side hustle culture has packaged this dream perfectly. Buy the heavy metal box, plug it into the wall, and collect your cash while you sleep. The pitch is flawless. And with the global vending market worth over $54 billion and growing by 7% every single year, you assume there is plenty of room for you to grab a tiny slice. You do the math in your head. 10 machines, generating $500 a month each, and you can comfortably quit your job with $5,000 in monthly passive income. It feels like the ultimate financial cheat code. You look at the glowing front glass and you smile. But as you stand there calculating your future wealth, you are completely ignoring the invisible contract. You did not just discover a passive food business. You just volunteered for a brutal, highly aggressive micro-real estate turf war. And the moment you understand how this industry actually operates, everything about why it quietly destroys beginners starts to make terrifying sense. Let us start with the biggest trap in the entire business: the location. You buy your first machine and start looking for a busy lobby where hundreds of thirsty people walk by every single day. You assume empty floor space is up for grabs. It is not. Every single profitable square foot of real estate in your city is a highly guarded fortress. Massive vending conglomerates and national vending management companies have already locked down the airports, the universities, the hospitals, and the large office buildings. They do not just ask nicely. They secure these locations with exclusive 5-year contracts. They offer property managers $10,000 upfront signing bonuses just for the right to monopolize their lobbies. You are a beginner with one machine. You cannot compete with a corporate syndicate. So you are left fighting for the scraps. You will make 50 cold calls just to land a mediocre Tier C spot inside a dusty auto repair shop, a tiny warehouse, or a local break room with exactly 15 employees. And the moment you finally sit down with the property owner, they hit you with the reality of commercial real estate. They demand 20 to 25% of your gross revenue just to let you plug your machine into their 120-volt wall outlet. They know exactly how much their foot traffic is worth, and they will extract every ounce of margin they can from your operation. You agree? Because you have no choice. You sign the paper. Now you have a location, but you still need the equipment. And this is where the industry extracts its next pound of flesh. To protect your shrinking margins, you try to buy a cheap used machine for $1,000 online. This is a fatal mistake. Old machines lack a modern laser drop sensor. This is an invisible grid of lasers at the bottom of the glass that detects if the product actually fell. If you do not have this technology, a $2 bag of chips gets stuck on the metal spiral. The machine steals the money. The customer kicks the glass in rage, screams at the property manager, and the manager orders you to remove your heavy steel box from their property by sunset. Your entire business is evicted over a bag of potato chips. To survive, you are forced to spend $6,000 on a brand new combination machine with laser sensors and digital control boards. Before you have sold a single candy bar, you are deep in the hole. Then the invisible taxes start draining your account. In a cashless world, nobody carries coins. You must install a wireless credit card reader on your machine, or you will lose 80% of your total sales volume. The hardware itself costs $300. The software company charges a $10 monthly cellular connection fee to keep it online. Then the payment processor takes 6% plus a flat 10 cents for every single swipe. On a $1 snack, the processor swallows 16 cents off the top before you even pay for the food. When you multiply that by thousands of microtransactions across an entire year, the technology tax absolutely butchers your profit margin. Then the commercial robotics start to fail. A vending machine is not a magic money box. It is a complex machine that gets slammed and shaken by angry humans every single day. A jammed bill validator costs $300 to replace. A dead coin mechanism costs $250. If the refrigeration compressor dies in the middle of July, $800 in repair costs hit you overnight. Worse, your entire chocolate and beverage inventory melts into a liquid disaster inside the cabinet, costing you another $300 in ruined product. Until you drive across town to fix it, your asset is completely dead. And then there is the inventory itself. You quickly realize food is a ticking time bomb. Snacks expire in 60 days. You buy in bulk to save cash, but now you are racing against time. If 5% of your inventory expires on the shelf, your entire profit margin for the month goes straight into the dumpster. Serious operators use a strategy called a planogram to fight this. A planogram is a visual map of the machine. You put your highest profit margin items, like energy drinks and bottled water, exactly at eye level. You place the heavy items at the bottom so they do not crush the chips when they fall. But even with perfect planning, you still face the reality of physical theft and shrinkage. People learn exactly how to tilt your 600-pound machine to knock energy drinks loose. Pests chew through rows of cookies in industrial parks. You find yourself driving out to a dark warehouse parking lot at 2 in the morning because a coin slot jammed and a customer left a furious voicemail threatening to smash your machine. You stand in the freezing rain at midnight, unlocking the heavy steel door, clearing jammed quarters with a screwdriver, and checking the shadows behind you. Let us slow down and do the actual math on a successful location so you understand the invisible trap you just walked into. Your machine is placed perfectly. It sells $300 a week. That is $1,200 a month in top-line revenue. When you see that number on your spreadsheet, it sounds like absolute victory. But then the physical reality of the business starts carving away your money. First, you subtract the $600 for the wholesale food costs. And you quickly realize that buying at a local consumer warehouse club is not cheap enough. You are paying retail prices disguised as wholesale. Next, the property manager takes their 20% commission right off the top. That is $240 gone just for the right to use their electricity. Then the digital tax hits you. The credit card swipe fees and monthly cellular connection charges strip another $80 away. Then comes the physical logistics. You burn $40 in gas, oil changes, and brake pads driving your personal vehicle through heavy city traffic to service this one location 4 times a month. Finally, you subtract the cost of expired inventory, damaged packaging, and outright theft, which easily eats another $56. Your mighty $1,200 revenue machine actually leaves you with exactly $184 in net cash flow. You invested $6,000 into this brand new machine. At $184 a month in profit, it will take you nearly 3 full years just to break even on your equipment. And in the vending world, 3 years is an eternity. By the time you finally pay off the machine, the refrigeration deck will likely need a complete overhaul, resetting your debt clock all over again. To replace your income and make $100,000 a year in pure profit, you do not need one machine. You need 45 of them operating flawlessly every single day. At $6,000 each, that requires a staggering $270,000 upfront capital expenditure. But the moment you scale to 45 machines, the illusion of passive income evaporates entirely. You are no longer an investor. You are running a heavy industrial trucking operation. A single case of bottled water or glass energy drinks weighs roughly 40 pounds. When you operate 45 machines, you are personally lifting, loading, hauling, and stacking thousands of pounds of liquid and cardboard every single week. Your lower back takes the punishment that your bank account was supposed to absorb. The guys making real money in this industry understand this physical limitation, which is why they operate using a metric called route density. If your machines are scattered randomly across the city, you will spend your entire life sitting in traffic, burning expensive diesel fuel, and watching your profit margin vanish into the tailpipe of your van. The professionals do not do this. They pack 50 machines into a tight 5-mile geographic radius. This allows a single driver to service 25 locations in an 8-hour shift without ever touching a highway. They also rent commercial warehouse space to execute a strategy called pre-kitting. They do not just throw boxes of random snacks into the back of a truck and guess what the machines need. They use live cellular telemetry to look at the exact inventory of every machine before the sun even comes up. They hire warehouse staff to pack specific plastic bins with the exact missing items for each location. When the driver arrives at the office building, they do not stand in the hallway for an hour staring at the glass and walking back and forth to their truck. They walk in with the exact bin, unlock the door, load the specific rows, and walk out. Pre-kitting cuts the restocking time at each location from 45 agonizing minutes down to just 12 minutes. The entire game at the professional level is not about selling candy. It is a relentless, exhausting war to shave minutes off the delivery route and pennies off the wholesale cost. Finally decide you want to cash out and escape the business, you will slam into the final harsh truth of the industry. You do not sell vending machines. Used metal boxes sitting on wooden pallets in a storage unit are worth absolutely nothing. They are rapidly depreciating liabilities. When you sell your business, you are selling the cash flow and the contracts. When massive corporate syndicates or private equity firms buy out a retiring operator, they do not care about your shiny equipment. They value the business strictly based on the route density and the legal security of your locations. A highly optimized route with ironclad property contracts and 5 years of verifiable digital credit card revenue is typically valued at 1 to 1.5 times its annual gross revenue. But getting that multiplier is an absolute nightmare. The buyers will ruthlessly audit every single digital telemetry report. If your contracts are verbal, if your route is too geographically spread out, or if your machines constantly break down, your valuation drops to pennies on the dollar. Building a route worthy of a premium corporate exit takes years of constant door-knocking, brutal logistical planning, and absorbing endless rejection from hostile property managers. And if you actually manage to reach that premium level, you realize you are completely trapped. You are no longer an investor. You are running a grueling, 60-hour-a-week industrial logistics company. You might think you can just hire a driver to do the heavy lifting for you. But this is a cash and inventory business. The moment you hand the keys to a minimum wage employee, your shrinkage skyrockets. Unsupervised drivers steal inventory, they skim the coin bags, they ignore the planograms, and they do not care if a machine breaks. To protect your razor-thin margins, you are forced to do the heavy lifting yourself. So it is midnight. You are standing entirely alone inside a freezing commercial warehouse. The air smells like dust and wet cardboard. Your hands are stained black with heavy machine grease. Your lower back throbs in pain from hauling 50-pound boxes of soda out of a delivery van all afternoon. You open your laptop under a flickering fluorescent light and check your daily revenue dashboard across your 45 locations. The route made money today. The math worked out. The commercial rent is paid. The credit card processors took their cut, but you survived another day. But you have not taken a vacation in over 2 years. If you step away for a single week, your high-volume machines run out of stock. The refrigeration compressors overheat. Angry landlords call your personal cell phone threatening to throw your equipment into the street, and your entire operation collapses into absolute chaos in your absence. You left your comfortable corporate job because you wanted to become a wealthy investor. You wanted absolute financial freedom. But you actually just bought yourself a punishing job as an unregulated micro-delivery driver. The money is real. The business is highly profitable. But as you look at the rows of heavy steel machines waiting for you to load them onto your truck at dawn, you realize the ultimate trap. You built a massive empire, but you can never, ever clock out.